Welcome, Fright Night Vault listeners. The city's underbelly hums where the last trains don't run, and the air tastes of brake dust and wet stone. If you're new to the vault, step carefully and subscribe to the vault and never walk alone again. Tonight's story, Subway Ghost Story, Sealed Platform Red Signal and the Track Walker, starts now. I badge through the service gate with the station sealed above me like a tomb that still owes taxes. The turnstiles are draped in plastic up top, but down here the hush breathes. Tiles sweating, drip rhythm, counting time nobody wants. The brief set of Phantom Red is holding its signal A2-14 on the dead spur off platform E-29, a platform bricked up after a service change and a lawsuit. Dispatch claims it's a sensor echo, a tired circuit dreaming in a loop. My job is to touch it, meter it, sign the form that lets the city sleep. I take the catwalk along the wall, boot soles biting steel mesh, and when the main line's wind dies, the platform's own silence keeps going, as if it never learned to stop. Keybox open, switch lamp bright. Radio hiss soft in my ear like static is practicing vowels. A smell like old pennies and rain-coated concrete lifts as I drop to the ballast at the spur throat. The rails have varnished with city air. No current, but the signal shows red across the curve. A lidless, steady coin of warning that refuses to blink. I say to the recorder clipped at my collar, E29 spur approach visual. A 214 remains at stop. No feet on the rails. Proceeding to head, the lens of the signal looks wet, though my glove comes away dry. The red light paints my hand's shadow long over broken glass and forgotten notices, words half dissolved into a soup of municipal promises. There's a cold seam under the red, a draft that doesn't belong in sealed things. It threads up from the tie gap and sifts through my clothes steady as a pulse. I follow it around the curve. The platform reveals itself one piece at a time. Tiled columns with numbers no one calls. A bench with gum fossils. A wall where a passage used to lead to a stairwell that now dreams of daylight. The third rail cover is intact, but someone chalked a date along it 2 winters ago. Last inspection before the wall went up. My light tags a scissored safety poster. Report all unsafe acts. Fluttering obediently without wind like a habit still alive. Footsteps. Not mine. Farther down, a measured pace embedded in ballast crunch, heel to toe as if the stones themselves have learned to imitate boots. It's the gait of someone counting cross ties and distance to safety spots. The pattern older than any memo. Track walker, I whisper without wanting to honor it with breath. The radio coughs. Kesk, hold, kesk. The word eroded, but the order riding in it like a splinter. I key my mic. Copy who's on E29? The dispatch channel ignores me with the indifference of a sleeping city. The red signal warms my cheek. I can feel it. A candle's distance from my face. I'm not supposed to believe signals radiate, but some warnings sweat. I climb back onto the platform to clear the right-of-way and freeze. A figure stands in the curve ahead, between the far column and the last bench, quarter-turned like he's listening to 2 lines at once. The lamp on his cap isn't a bulb. It's a small, steady bloom where the lens should be, a tight white that has cooled toward blue. The kind of cold blue a dead battery dreams when it wants one more shift. The light doesn't cast a beam. It leaks along the cracks in his face the way current looks when it runs under skin in an old warning poster. Faint tributaries of glow tracking crow's feet and a jaw wired by work. His coat rides his frame like it learned his shoulders and won't let them differ. His hands are down, fingers curled like hooks softened by callus, nails long enough to be tools. He is not transparent. He is not fog. He is a man baked into the elements of a platform. Stone, metal, light, repetition. He doesn't face me precisely. He faces the signal. He sets off again, heel-toe over ballast without disturbing a single stone, pacing a count. 132 ties to the cut. Stop, head up, listen. 2 back, check the third rail cover, Hand hover, check again. When he stops, the draft in the tunnel stops. When he moves, the draft goes with him. A warning on legs. Running a route, I ask the air, and my voice sticks to tile. The radio spits a fragment. Stop. Not spoken so much as stamped in static. I raise the meter and it wakes with a cheerful beep that sounds insane down here. Voltage on the signal head. A trickle that shouldn't be. Ground returns a number that suggests a bond hidden behind the wall still believes it has a train to serve. E29 died, but one little artery refused. The trackwalker's light tries for me once. It drags across my face like someone checking your pupils without asking your name. In that cold blue, the platform's grime bleaches. The red signal pulses once. No, I flinched, it didn't. And the radio gives me a ghost of another channel. It's as if the old dispatcher line, the one retired with E29, has wormed up through my speaker to make one last overtime call. The words are wrong at the edges, distorted by a city 7 million throats thick, but the bones are simple. Hold, hold, hold. I nod like he can fire me. Copy, holding. He resumes. Past the bench, he taps the column base twice with his knuckles, ritual or code, and the platform answers with the softest ring, tile singing like a glass you can't find. The cold blue leaks through the cracks around his eyes and along his gums when his teeth clench, tiny lines like solder seams lit from behind. The sight makes hunger in my bones for water and daylight. I work. Men like him respect you more if you do. I open the junction box below the signal and stare at a neat crime, a bypass loop someone installed when the platform was a cut-through for work trains. The loop tells A2-14 that a train is eternally in the block. Nobody removed it when they bricked the stairwell. Red forever, because someone promised to come back and didn't. I feel the entity's attention pivot toward me. It isn't a gaze, it's the pressure of duty leaning, the tilt of an expectation. Yeah, I say to the box and to the dead man. I see it. The fix is simple electrically and complicated morally. If I lift the loop, the red will clear. The block will be empty, officially on paper, and the platform will finally be retired in truth. But signals are sermons in this underground religion. You don't silence one without reading it. I key the mic, and the living dispatch finally answers, as if irritated to be interrupted by the old line. Maintenance, you're on an unpowered spur. What are you doing keyed up? Verifying a persistent stop at A2-14E-29, I say. There's an unauthorized bypass in the junction. Looks like pre-closure hack. I can remove and document. There's a pause long enough to measure 3 drips. E29 doesn't exist in ops, dispatch says, default voice. No trains. Remove as found hazard. Clear red. The track walker has reached the far end of his route. He stops at the wall where a signal mirror once hung and lifts one hand. His nails scrape stone in a motion that means memory more than it means sound. Blue wind threads his fingers and pours like water into the seams of the sealed bricks. For an instant, something behind the wall answers. A door that will never open shifts in its sleep. He turns and begins back. Heel toe, heel toe. I hear another sound now, under his route. The arrival chime ghost. 2 notes, far away in a station the public still uses. It runs on schedule. It will never notice the man who kept time for it out here. I pull the jumper. The red remains. I have to laugh, a thin ribbon in the cold. Of course it won't give up because I lifted a wire. The platform's sermon isn't electrical alone. The man's route ties it down. You were waiting for relief, I tell the space between us, and my voice comes back from the tiles in a smaller shape. You were told to hold until someone walked up and took the route, and no one came, and then they bricked the stairs and you kept walking because who else was there? The meter chirps. A clean drop. The signal's feed now makes sense. The red should die. It won't. Not until the last piece of the ritual ends. Someone must take the route so the one who held can clock out. The track walker pauses at me, close enough that if he were breathing, my jacket would lift with it. The glow in his face pours gentle lines along his cheekbones. For a heartbeat, the blue slackens, and I see a deeper color fighting through, the old brown of a human eye under shift light. He reaches. His fingers hover over my shoulder with the weight of a glove, heavy with sleet and crushed stone. A touch just shy of contact, and in that almost I feel the shape of a word. Relief. My hand rises on its own. I point the beam at the far marker and say, without irony, taking E29 eastbound walk from a 214 to walled stairwell and back, clearance for right-of-way is dead, but watch the third rail cover at the bend. The cold blue in him flares once and then tightens to a calmer seam, like lightning deciding to stay in a filament. He steps back, lifts his chin, permission granted. My boots drop to the ballast. I begin, heel toe, count ties, head up, listen, two back, check cover, tap column base twice, eyes to the red, look to the mirror that isn't there, return. The draft follows me, obedient. The platform's muscles unclench with each count. At the wall, I lay my palm on the cold brick because he did. It feels like touching the back of a door you'll never open but must greet anyway. On the third pass, the radio's dead dispatch channel claws up one last time and forms a sentence by accident. Walk received. It's nothing but noise strung just right, but the platform believes what it needs. When I come back to A2-14, the red falters. Not a blink, an exhaustion. Then it holds again, stubborn. Of course. One more rule. I look to the man. He now stands where I stood when I first saw him, quarter-turned to listen to both lines. The cold blue etches his mouth, the cracks along his jaw brighter where work wore them deeper. He lifts one finger and points to the junction box, then to the wall, then to me. Document, handover, clear. I set the camera on the box and speak the facts. Bypass removed, E29 officially clear, route walked, hazard notes filed. I sign the paper nobody asked for, a pre-closure hack neutralized, a stop condition resolved. I am speaking to a room that doesn't exist on any live map. I am filling out a form for a desk that was scrapped to aluminum. The signal listens. The red relaxes. It doesn't pop, doesn't switch. It eases like a throat unclenched. Darkness where warning lived. My eyes invent a ghost of red for a second out of habit, but it's gone. The platform's temperature rises a degree that feels like mercy. The trackwalker's light recedes from cold blue to a small white that belongs to lamps meant for hands. He looks at me. He does not nod. This place doesn't do gestures that soft, but he moves his shoulders like a man who has set down a coil of cable. He reaches toward my cap. The air compresses. His hand stops just above the brim as if God has made a rule about certain touches, and then he rotates the invisible light on my head, not to turn it on, but to align it. He steps back, away from the rail, into the shadow where brace and beam throw X's on the tile. He walks one last time, not the route, but the arc between the signal and the wall. He passes the bench, and the gum fossils shine dull under his face. He disappears behind the column labeled 29 in paint that time couldn't peel, and he does not come out from the other side. The draft that had knotted my shirt front lets go. The platform sighs like a sea drawing down the last of a wave. My radio returns to the living dispatcher, bored. Maintenance report. A 2-14 cleared, I say. E29 spur electrically dead and documented. Anomalous hold resolved. Copy, comes the yawn. Close out. I climb to the platform and sit on the bench because it is the stupid human thing to do after a ritual bigger than pay. The dark where red lived looks honest. The wall looks like a wall. The meter shows zeros that won't write a poem. I take my pencil and scratch a note nobody will read into the underside of the bench. Walk received. It's vandalism wrapped as service. The city will sand it away when it finds it. That's fine. The platform heard it. On the way out, my beam passes a framed employee memorial where glass used to be. It's empty. It reflects me, and for a ridiculous second I expect to see a second reflection wearing a lamp that bleeds cold blue through cracked cheeks and a jaw set for another hour. I only see my own tired grin, the kind you make when something chose not to kill you because you filled out the right form at the right time. I secure the gate. The turnstiles upstairs stand like rib bones under plastic. Outside, the street sweats steam from a grate, and a bus sighs, and I have never loved a stupid coffee more. As the lid snaps on, the radio pips with a final gentle bleed-through. Clear. The word is clean this time, not a command, not a plea. A courtesy. I key the mic and say, "Good night," to a frequency that shouldn't carry that kind of message. The static, polite, says nothing. Well, Fright Night Vault listeners, the last train never came, but the signal finally slept. If you have a horror story of your own, please feel free to add it to the comments. You never know, the next story could be yours. Subscribe to the Vault and never walk alone again. And if you ever find yourself at a bricked-up platform with a single red that refuses to die, don't step onto the rails unless you're ready to take the route. Some warnings won't clear until you carry them.